Welcome back to Fast Market here on the Schwab Network. Time for cash tags. With that, let's bring in our next guest. That's going to be Landon Swan, co-founder of LikeFolio. Welcome back to the show, Landon.
Thanks. Great to be here. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you. Happy Monday to Spotify investors. This stock's just off all-time highs. You know what, Landon? I always equate this to to music streaming service, but I equate it to Netflix because it's one of those subscriptions that I don't think anybody's going to give up anytime soon, and it's got all of its competitors pretty much beat. You got the data that backs this up?
We do. I mean, we've been bullish on this for a while. Love to see where it's at. It's trading, obviously very strong, up significantly. And you're right, they are crushing the competition. I mean, what a ball drop by Apple. I mean, you've got everyone in the world or everyone in the U.S. has got an iPhone. They've got Apple Music pre-installed, and somehow they let Spotify just kick their butt. I mean, this is kind of one of those cases where you think that the big company is going to dominate because they always dominate everything. But, when you got one of their small departments like music competes with somebody who that's all they do and they focus on doing it really well, that's where the smaller guy, in this case Spotify, can win. And now they're the big one, right? So they've won that battle. They had a great quarter last quarter. It was, iffy on as far as, meeting expectations, but they guided higher. The stock jumped 10%, and since then it's run another 20%. So we're at, like you said, just off those highs. But they're turning in great numbers. I mean, their gross profit margins are up to 31%. I mean, if you look at their earnings a year ago, they were losing almost 40 cents a share. Now they're over $1.50 in profit per share. Revenue's up 21%. But they still have upside. I mean, if you look at that revenue split, the revenue is up 21% year over year, and the premium subscriptions revenue is up 24%. The ad-supported revenue is only up 7%. I think they have a lot of upside there, not only in converting users from that ad-supported to premium, but also in getting more ads sales coming in. I mean, they're partnering with another company that we love and very bullish on, the Trade Desk, TTD, to put in their Spotify ad exchange program, which I think is going to do really well with delivering more relevant ads to users, which is going to create more clicks, drive more sales, and make the advertisers happy. There are going to be more advertisers, more money coming in. So I think that they've got a lot of upside there. Not to mention converting people. I mean, of their 640 monthly active users, 640 million monthly active users, 252 are premium and 388 are not premium. So there's a lot of people they can still sell to. Now, when we look at the data, everything's kind of going in the right direction. Web visits are up, consumer sentiment's high. And when we look at even you can see the web traffic up 6% on a year-over-year basis. That's great. One thing that we always look at with this kind of a service is what are people searching for, not just Spotify. And, whether or not they're searching for Spotify, but what are they searching for with regards to Spotify? And one thing that we're cautious of is, are they searching for how to cancel or how, cancellation, that kind of thing? There's all kinds of queries that people search the web for to look to see if they're canceling. That's that smaller line there, that I guess that kind of orange line. So just general mentions of looking at Spotify are up 6%, but when you look at Spotify Premium, they're up significantly more. They're up nearly 50% on a year-over-year basis. And when you look at people canceling, it's basically flat. So the web visits are people interested in signing up. They're getting more users, and it's not more people looking to cancel. Back to your point, I mean, this is just a service this is how you listen to music. This is how you listen to podcasts. It's now how you listen to audiobooks. And it's like Netflix, right? I mean, it's just something that you use, and you're going to bounce around between the different podcasts or books or songs that you listen to, but it's all going to be through Spotify. I think they've done a fantastic job of dominating this market, and that's why the stock is where it's at.
Yeah, Landon, I'm going to make three comparisons with three large cap tech names: Apple, Netflix, Meta Platforms. Apple, do you believe that this company started in 2006 when iTunes was as popular as it could ever be? And it's a lesson, it's a master's thesis in building the better mousetrap, right? The better company, the one with the better plan, won. And consumers chose Spotify over Apple Music or iTunes or whatever you had at the time. Then something Tom mentioned, Netflix. This ad-supported tier that they're using, it just continues to get bigger and bigger, and then they move people over to the premium, as you know. So it's another tool, just like Netflix using an ad-supported tier. Then Meta Platforms. They've got advertising, ad targeting tools like Meta Platform does, using AI to target their advertisers. Advertisers like it, customers like it. So 3 comparisons, all favorable to a company like Spotify. Landon, your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with all 3. The bear case for Spotify is very short, and this stock is really high. I mean, that's basically it. Are they, have they gotten ahead of themselves? I don't think so. I think this is one of those cases where you can buy high and sell higher. It's a great company, and all the data that we collect, from web searches to social media mentions, consumer happiness, purchase intent, all of it is positive on Spotify. It has been for well over a year now. I mean, the momentum just continues with this company. As soon as it turns, Kevin, I'll shoot you a text and we can get on here and talk about how to short this or play it to the downside, but that's not today. Right now, everything is looking really strong on Spotify.
You mentioned low churn rate on this company, basically 0 at this point. So it's got those consumers locked into this. Landon, you mentioned the data: 640 million subscribers across the globe, only 252 million on premium. So they've got opportunity there. But the ad tier is doing well. Their average revenue per user is up to growing by 11% last quarter. So right there, even if they don't get the signings for premium, they're still doing well on the ad things. But when you look at this from an earnings score with the stock at or near all-time highs, it's getting pretty expensive. But at the same time, if they're growing this way, it's kind of supportive of it, right?
I agree. Here's the problem with going into earnings, right? They guided higher last quarter. They jumped 10% on earnings, basically. Since then, they've traded up another 20%. So expectations are extremely high for this one. So that has tempered us significantly. I mean, if this stock, if you flip the chart and it was down, we'd probably be plus 99. I mean, we'd be so all in on it. But it is very high. The stock has run since the last earnings where they said, hey, this is going to be a good next quarter. So everyone's expecting a good quarter. We are still positive on it. It's a plus 24, which is, on the lower end of things. But that is almost all reflective of that stock price. So expectations being so high, that's big. This is as great as the stock could trade going into earnings. So that tells you how strong the data is, that it was only able to pull it down to plus 24. So we're still bullish on this one, even though the stock is very high, because everything that we've got says this is a strong quarter coming and a strong future for this company, not just this quarter, but moving ahead in the next few quarters. So plus 24 is our score. Not a home run slam dunk because of how high the expectations have to be. But overall, this is a great company long term, and we believe short term.
Yeah, easy to get those membership or subscriber numbers up when nobody's canceling the service, or very few at this point.
Right.
All right, great breakdown for us, Landon. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, that's Landon Swan, co-founder of LikeFolio, breaking down that positive data